Hello, everyone. Dr. Victoria Skirbo here, speaking to you from the Seeds of Transformation Healing Center in Wareham, Massachusetts. It is time for Tarot-Scopes. We're going to be doing Tarot-Scopes for the month of May 2022, and we're going to start with the sign of Gemini. Now, May is an interesting month for Gemini because we have Mercury, your ruling planet, moving into Gemini at the last day of April. So as we open up to May, we have Gemini powerfully placed in, Mercury powerfully placed in Gemini. However, on the 10th of May, Mercury does station retrograde, and its retrograde occurs at 5 degrees of Gemini. Retrogrades all the way back to 27 degrees, 26 degrees of Taurus. So that span between 26 degrees of Taurus and 5 degrees of Gemini is a span in which Mercury will go over 3 times. So if you happen to have a planet there, and that this applies to everyone, not just Geminis, you will be having perhaps a reconsideration of whatever themes that planet symbolizes. We also, Mercury retrogrades back into Taurus on the 22nd and actually doesn't go direct until June 3rd. So for the first 10 days, we are kind of in its retrograde pre-shadow station. And then it goes retrograde, and then it stays retrograde well into right into the beginning of June, and then it takes a little while after that to get out of its shadow. So as your ruling planet Mercury, it can be challenging. It can be a challenge. Gemini. Sorry, it can be again. See, it's already starting, right? You can tell. It can be challenging. Venus moves into Aries at the beginning of the month. I believe that occurs on the, I have it right here, on the 2nd. We do have also the Sun-Uranus conjunction on the 5th. So that's Cinco de Mayo. It's occurring at 15 degrees of Taurus. So we have the Sun conjunct Uranus. Now that's a significant period of time because last year when Uranus stationed retrograde, it stationed retrograde at that 15th degree of Taurus. And so things that were happening in August at that August of last year will now probably come to some sort of a re-going over of any of those issues that you might have, and that's really true of almost everybody. Let's see what else is going on. The Sun moves into your sign on the 20th, so for less than half of the month the Sun is in Gemini. But again, whenever I see the Sun move into a sign, I always look to the ruler of that sign. And of course, the ruler is Mercury, and Mercury is still retrograde. So I think what I want to say mostly for Geminis is that it will take a lot of reevaluation of your thoughts. There's going to be a lot of information, and then perhaps some information about the past that will come up at this time to be elucidated, to be understood, to be evaluated. But it does, when Mercury is retrograde, we do tend to have trouble in our communication. Schedules are difficult, small appliances break down, things like that. But it really requires us to really sort of double and triple check our facts. And so you will spend a lot of May doing just that, along with the rest of us. But because you are ruled by Mercury, you feel it even a little bit more, and it is occurring in your first house. So it's even a redefinition, of how you're seen and how you put yourself out there in the world. And that will include all those Geminis out there who might have something to hide. I will not mention names. Okay, so we're going to use the Druid Craft Oracle Tarot, sorry, and we'll see what comes up for Gemini. So this is a Tarot-Scope for Gemini for the month of May. In the merry, merry month of May. I love May. May is like my favorite month, really. It's just, everything is so lush and green and growing, and the promise of a fruitful harvest. Plus, it's a Venus ruled sign. Okay. All right, let's see what we have here, guys. Let's see what's coming up for Gemini. Okay, we start with the King of Pentacles. So, this is an energy of evaluating your resources. The King of Pentacles is kind of a bottom line kind of energy. Not sentimental, really concerned with things of the physical plane, money, resources, what's his, what's not. So this is perhaps a evaluation of where your financial situation stands and your ability to be in charge of that. So let's see what challenges that. Oh, the Ace of Cups, the Ace of Cups. Yeah, the Ace of Cups as a challenge card. My first thought was, Geminis like to have fun, right? Geminis like to sometimes be the life of the party. They're not particularly concerned with the future necessarily. They're in the present. They're in the moment. They sort of experience the moment as it is. And, the Ace of Cups is about joy and happiness and all of this. And so either all this work on your finances are depressing you a bit. Or perhaps you feel like you're not having any fun because you have to do this. It's possible. Let's see what's at the root here. Okay, we have the wheel. So this is the Wheel of Fortune at the root. It simply, I think, indicates that you are in a new cycle. Something new is coming around. What goes around comes around. And so your status is changing. Your status is changing. And sometimes it's difficult to be carefree in that kind of situation. So your more carefree attitude towards life may be being tested at this time. Let's see what's in the past. The Three of Pentacles is in the past, which means that, you've worked hard to get where you are. You do have people in your life that you can work with. This is a really good card for working with others and creating things that are that have staying power. Let's see what's in the sky. We have the Emperor is in the sky. In this deck, it's called the Lord. This is about agency, having agency, being the ruler, as it were. It is an authority figure, a male authority figure, and so there can be a male authority figure helping you out. It is in the sky, so it is, as I look at it, it's the energy of spirit sort of offering us something. But it is a 4, and 4 does have some crisis. So there is some crisis here, but it seems like with the King of Pentacles as the first card, and then this card on top of the reading, this really is about perhaps, what's the word I'm looking? Delaying gratification so that you can get a more stable position. That's what this looks like to me. We have in the immediate future, the Princess of Swords. There is information coming to you, but it's going to be secret information. In fact, something may be exposed through somebody saying something about something you've done. You know, if you've been on the up and up through this period of time, you really don't have anything to worry about. But if you have been a bit of a scoundrel, like some Geminis out there, I believe that your secrets will be revealed, and it will feel like somewhat of a betrayal in that respect. Now, we must remember that the ex-president is a Gemini when I do these readings. How it's seen from the outside, we have the Eight of Pentacles. You're seen as somebody who is willing to do the work and works hard and doesn't necessarily mind the kind of work that other people might feel like that borders on drudgery, right? Drudgery. But they know that you do work and you do it well, and it's mainly because of the repetitive nature of that. Let's see your domestic situation. We have the Nine of Cups. Well, that's lovely. So you may have an opportunity to have a party at your house. Just make sure you can afford it. It's in this deck, the guy is sitting here with all these cups in front of him and sort of the cups around the table, but he's there by himself. So there can be a sense of isolation with this. You can feel like, you know, perhaps you would like to have a good time, that Ace of Pentacles as trine, as the crossing card, but there's nobody there. So this can actually, even though it's a wish card and it's generally a positive card, and we can read it as a positive card, we can read that Nine of Pentacles, that Nine of Cups is, you know, having your wishes, you know, getting what you want, but there's a loneliness to this. There's a sense of isolation that's coming up in these cards. Let's see your hopes and fears. Princess of Pentacles, new opportunities, new financial opportunities. And the outcome, the Lover's card, the Gemini card. The Gemini card, the Lover's card it can be love, but it's mostly a card of choice. It's mostly a card of choice. So what choices are you making? What relationships? What are you agreeing to within your relationships? But it is an opportunity. It is a time when you can come together with another person and make and have some sort of agreement. We can have some sort of agreement here. Okay, let's see what's underneath it all here. We have the King of Cups. And then we have the Four of Pentacles, which is sort of about safeguarding your finances. And we have the Seven of Wands. So this reminds me a bit of, there's a lot of masculine energy in these cards. There's two kings and the Emperor. So what I would say here is that you may need to talk to other people about your situation. How best to save your money, hide your money, not have to pay taxes on all your money, you know, that kind of stuff. Being extra cautious with your money. And then being ready for what's coming. So it feels like, so what these cards say to me anyway, is that you need to evaluate where you stand financially. You may have to put the good time, let the good times roll, which is very much a Gemini thing. You might have to put that on the back burner while Mercury's retrograde. There's a lot of facts and figures and things that need to be figured out here, and there are people out there who will help you, that you or that you need to start a relationship with. So new relationships, because perhaps the old relationships you have are in a situation where they're not either reliable or they're trying to stab you in the back a bit. So this is about protect your money, protect your resources, protect yourself. This at the root which is the Wheel of Fortune card, but you see that she's creating a circle, right? She's drawing, she's creating a sacred space. And so I think what this is also telling you, Gemini, is that you need to be very, very aware of your boundaries. And you need to be very circumspect about who you trust, especially with your money, and who you're making, and you know, go into your new relationships with your eyes wide open. I think that's what I'm seeing here. Okay, so that's interesting, Gemini. I'm going to pull a message of life card, excuse me. I have to have it right in front of me here. And we'll see, it's kind of like an oracle, but I'll see what kind of information. What do we need to further be aware of, Gemini? Okay, let's see. These cards are really long, so hard to shuffle. Special way to shuffle them. What is the message for Gemini? It says, God sustains me. I cease to worry about what might happen to me. I turn every day over to God and put an end to my inner turmoil. I welcome things as they are without resistance. I keep moving forward even if I sometimes feel alone. I know that the love of God sustains me. Now, once more, I find my greatest strength, faith. And that's what this says. So I would say God and a good accountant. All right, guys, have yourself a wonderful month. Just remember, double and triple check those figures. And I will see you again next month when Mercury is direct and maybe things loosen up for you a bit. Okay, guys, much love. Namaste.